Hello there, this is Cookies. I have turn 62 of MA Naba, and we should get a big battle this turn in Scraw Pointe, so I'll probably jump straight to that in just a second. Alright, yep, let's go ahead and see how it goes. So, nothing about this scripting has changed, I think. Still on a line of Shard Guard, and we have boxes of Magma Kids and Sentinels. We have another big box of Sentinels in the back, and 2 boxes of Great Olms, and a box of Shard Whites. Additionally, the mages are kind of pocketed here in the middle, so they'll be a little bit safer. Although one of them is out in front here. But, we do have a fair number of commanders here from the Agarthan side, so we'll have to see how we do. And then over here, we have the Army of Naba, so we've got the Jangard, the Hermit Sahir, as you can see them mixed in. We've got the Avites, the Communion, some of the bigger casters back here, some of the birds for distractions, and a couple of the army thugs in the back. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. So you can see the birds drawing Mind Blast Fire. And this is mostly to make sure we get off our big buff spells. So we get off Soaring Army, we get off Wailing Winds. Alright. So some of our Vanguard are on hold and attack rear. They're going after the Great Olms. The other force is hold and attack closest. They're going after the Magma Kids. And a lot of the stuff in the middle is just kind of getting ignored at the moment. So we're trying to work down the squishier parts of the defense. The Great Olms only have 10 protection, the Magma Kids only have 8. Sentinels have 27. And some of these Great Olms have 20 from getting buffed by different, probably like Marble Warriors. But we don't want to deal with all these Sentinels. Also, you can see that Howl went up and Divine Channeling went up. So Howl probably doesn't make a lot of sense because we're about to put up Firestorm, but I was thinking maybe the wolves will survive a little bit and distract. Probably a waste of nature gems. Divine Channeling is really nice for the Communion because if we do burn out the Communion Masters will be Holy 3. So they'll still have the option to smite, and that'll be really nice. And here we go with Firestorm. So you can see the wolves running in, but it's not pleasant for them, and there's not necessarily a lot of them. See another one coming in up here. So we've killed most of the Magma Kits now. We've also equipped a couple of our lifelong protections, I think on different commanders. One was a Sahir. This was to kind of help protect him in assassinations. And the other one might have been like a camel guy or something, or one of these Communion dudes. But there might have been 2, maybe it was only 1, but yeah, you can see a certain number of imps coming in and helping out. Also, with Wailing Winds up for a few rounds, so we're on round 10, a lot of the enemy commanders have routed, and some of them have been killed, so these 3 are dead. But this one is still here, this one is routed, this one is still here, and this one is routed. So he's down to 2 commanders that haven't routed yet. One is right here, it's Pebble Breaker, and I think the other one, let's see, using the trick Chris Lighthawk told me about. Alright, and the other one's this Olm Sage right here. So we'll see if we can get to both of these mages. because that was a big part of my plan for getting rid of the Sentinels, was to route all the leadership or kill it, so that we don't have to kill all the Sentinels, they'll just dissolve. So we've got this guy here, he's still hanging out. You can see some flame eruptions coming in from the Hermit Sahirs to try and get through these statues. Howl has dropped, and that's because the Nature Caster procced Firestorm, and he ran away. He doesn't end up dying, but he does run away. So that's what happened to Howl. This guy has now routed, so now it's just the Olm, the Great Olm, which is here. So it's just this Boulderborn guy. It's the only one holding up the leadership for the army. You can see more flame eruptions going on in the background. And you'll know that that Great Olm has routed when you see these statues dissolve. But he's actually held out for a long time. It's turn 22 under Wailing Winds, and he's still... Well, he just now routed, so... Alright. So now it's just cleaning up these Shard Guard. Ideally, not the statues that are going to dissolve anyways. Alright. Oh yeah, we stole a few of them. Like this guy and the Shard White over on the left. Okay. So we do end up pretty much wiping this army. One of the Olm Sages gets away, and a couple of other units, but you know, all in all, we wiped this army. It did come with some cost to us, though. We lost 7 Hermits here. We lost a Carib, and we also lost our Warrior Mage Thug. And it looks like we did find his sword at least. We found a couple of the Dream Spools from the Hermit Sahirs, and we found a bag of wine, probably from a Sheikh. So we did find some stuff. But we also lost 64 Jangard, and that's 6 to 7 turns of recruitment. So that's a fair number of Jangard for us. We do gain a few Shard Guards and a Shard White to try and make up for it, but I kind of like our Jangard better. And then we also lost 5 Hin, but most of our other losses aren't really noticeable, like the Black Hawks. It's fine losing Avites. Losing the Centaur Charioteer is fine. Losing a few Draconians is fine. But losing the Hins, losing the Janguards, that hurt a little bit. And then we also lost 8 mages. Now we did or 9 mages, I believe. Yeah, so we lost 9 mages, but we did kill 8 mages. And on the whole, his mages tend to be more expensive. Although it looks like maybe these Olm Sages are summoned. So maybe a similar gold cost in mages, because mine are 175. So it's maybe like 3 Hermits here is equal to an Oracle. But yeah, all in all, we did take some attrition here, but we did win the battle. And most of our retreats were successful. We did lose a few troops, though. Alright. So let's go ahead and check out the rating around this. So we have Tunnels of the Lost. So we had a camel group found out below the fort. They're going to go ahead and get found out and killed. And then in Bay Pond, Agartha moves his big stack. So he opts not to storm the Asphodel fort and create a new base of operations. He's opting for going into Bay Pond and attacking us there. Okay. And then we also attack him in Silver World, and this is the cave underneath Scraw Pointe. So we find just some bats here, and we end up killing them just fine. Alright. So we lose one camel rider. And one of our mages gets an attempted assassination for doing their job. So this is our Gula. Hopefully she can defend herself. She has a fair amount of kit on her. Oh, this guy runs around the table. Alright. He's like, I want nothing of the magic of this lady. Alright. And we did get a few events. We got some income, and we lost a little bit of dominion. And then we got a Banu Salat, who is a free multi-hero for Nabah, so that's pretty nice. I really like them because they're very generals, so having a free general is fantastic because it means I don't have to recruit one of the Janimirs because they're pretty expensive. They cost 168 gold a year. So, and they have a fairly high just initial recruitment cost too at 420. So, with the victory at Scraw Pointe, we don't need to apply a lot of pressure to Forested Pine just yet. But we do need to set up our defense of Hubberton. And we've got the Shaitan moving into Cavern of Tog to defend that. So we're gonna have 4 Shaitan for 3 Agarthan commanders. I think that's reasonable odds of success. Especially since yeah, that guy only has 2 earth gems. So maybe there's 1 earth elemental in a fight, potentially. And then we've also got our defense of Hubberton. So we've got all this stuff here. So now we've hired mercs. So the mercs are going to stand up front now and get mind blasted, and then they're going to be followed up with the flying Janguard. And then we've got a similar sort of Hermit Sahir communion setup, except we've also got a few Malakat here. So they'll do Gift of the Furies, Wailing Winds, I guess Nest of the Salamanders. This one's just going to be doing evocation magic, and then we've also got Mists of Deception. So a lot of good stuff coming in, and we've also rolled in some of our free fire mages, these Jinn. So, alright, so that's a little bit of the plan there. So we've got an army defense for Hubberton, we've got an assassination defense for Cavern of Tog. And I think that's a lot of the stuff for this turn. We've finished a lot of our site searching. So you can see there's not much left to do. So site searching is starting to slow down, and the gems are getting put into the war machine. That is the big expense of doing a lot of remote site searching, as you go through a period where you just essentially waste a lot of gems. And that's to optimize for research. So we sacrificed a lot of gems to get more research so we could stay up there while still maintaining a fairly large blood economy. So that was kind of the idea there. And we are getting a little bit more thug gear, so like a Sword of Swiftness, Earth Boots, Bottle of Living Water, some other stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do some forging. We've set up our defense for Hubberton. And down here, we're going to finally try out the raid command. So we're going to raid the halls. And we're also going to send this little group to attack with it, and it's this little group of Janguard. And the bonus of doing the raid command is it'll put this up at 100 unrest. So it'll not contribute much for Agartha until he patrols it down. So that's kind of the idea there. And then we can also see his army movements. We've got a little bit better scouting down here now. So we can see that he's got a bunch of mages here, but he's got a lot of troops in these 3 spots. And we've got the makings of a new army in Tunnels of the Lost, which would be to defend Mountains of Mist. But first we got to deal with the Bay Pond army, then we can start worrying about Mountains of Mist and then delving into his caves. So I think that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty big battle. And I'll go ahead and see you in turn 63. Have a good one.